episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. My name is Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And of course, we also have with us down below Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Hi, ladies. How have you? I'm almost afraid to ask, how was your week? Krista, let's let you get started.
Thanks. Really appreciate that one.
You're welcome.
I love that laugh too. Can we work on the cackle just a little bit more? Right?
I don't know if I can do that anymore.
That's a little evil.
I can laugh like Betty Rubble though.
That's great. I love Well, we could just spend the whole hour laughing today.
Right.
So my week has been very interesting. I have been living in like full technicolor surround sound. Everything that Damaris said last week.
Oh my God.
Everything.
No.
I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh
I really wanted to go live with some of the stuff that was happening. Be like, okay, Damaris, I just want you to know, look at this. This is live. This shit is real. You can't make it up.
The energy. No, you can't make it up.
No, you can't. And the energy was absolutely, I mean, it was like I don't want to say the minute we got off the show, because I did get to go downstairs, have another cup of tea. I got, got my comfies on, my little jammies. And I was like, oh, well, I'll wait until Jen gets home. Yeah. And then it all started. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, we won't go into all the details. Yeah. Let's just say that it was intense in living color. And not intense in living color of, oh, haha, this is fun. Intense living color where, I'm very thankful that an international incident wasn't reported.
Yes.
How's that?
Oh my, yeah.
Gosh.
And then we went to we went to The Hague, which is The Hague. The Hague. Yeah, that's the hedge, which is translates to the hedge, which is where all the legal court systems, the international legal court system is, all the government systems here in the Netherlands are and stuff. It's a really neat city, has a really interesting history. And we went up there for the weekend. Oh, I did. I took pictures. I haven't finished uploading them. I did do something pretty amazing. I got out of my bubble yet again, because I always believe in getting out of my bubble. And after Genevieve bungee cord jumped, because she did a 60-meter bungee cord jump.
Wow, that's brave.
Yep, she wanted to do that for her birthday. I zip-lined the longest zip line in all of Europe.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, 360 meters. Talk about getting out of your comfort zone. And it was over the ocean.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that.
And so, well, I will. Okay, full disclosure. In my first attempt, I had a panic attack. Not a full-fledged one, because I was able to step back and say, okay, before this becomes a huge problem, I'm going to step back, catch my breath. But then we went through it. And so Kevin and I practiced, and then we went down together. And so here's what I did. No joke. I walked on the platform. My arms are up. I went 1, 2, 3, and I sat down. And zippy I went.
Nice.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, so
I would love to do a zip line. Bungee jumping, not so much, but a zip line, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll do it again. So totally, I'm going to do it again.
Neither for me.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of heights, Damaris?
I am.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You picked that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also am afraid of heights, but it's very strange how that shows up, because like I'll climb a tree and then be like, oh no, call the fire department.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And make sure it's the really cute guys that come and get me.
I had a friend that was diabetic that used to mess with her blood sugar just to get the firemen to come over.
Wow. Were they that good
Talk about
looking?
playing with your life. Oh, she was that hungry.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, yeah. No, it's funny because once you get up there a certain, or at least for me, like a plane, yeah, I can jump out of a plane. It doesn't look real.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right? There's that period in between that height looks real.
Yeah. Well, you can actually judge it. You know, you have that gauge of judging it. And so, yeah. For me, I don't know. I think it was just, as I always say to people when they're starting anything, it's that first step is always the hardest step. And no joke, even with the zip line, it's that step off. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, but it was wicked fun. I enjoyed it. I'll jump out of a perfectly good airplane. I'm with you. I will not bungee cord jump. Mine, people think, is it because of heights? I'm like, yeah, no, it's this whole thing of my spinal cord going like this. Woo, snap. And Jen's like, but Mom, that isn't what it felt like. I'm like, well, you just keep enjoying that feeling.
Yeah. Bugs Bunny told me this would happen, and I'm not.
I'm not gonna play
cartoon physics. Yeah.
I learned from Acme.
Too funny. Well, I want to say a quick hello to Julie Delzell and Allison Fritz and Amy McKenna that are watching us, and whoever else just joined us as well. Thanks so much for being here. Yay!
Awesome.
Awesome stuff. Damaris, how was your week in New York?
It was great. My daughter came down from Georgia for 3 days. She came Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we had a lot of fun. She came, just to have a family thing because sometimes she misses home. She lived in New York and then she moved to Georgia because it's very affordable there for her. And so, but she came to visit. So we spent the weekend inside, pretty much just hanging out.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's great. And then is she the one who painted the picture?
No,
those who don't see it. Okay. So, all right. So I don't know, Damaris, you're going to have to share what you shared on your personal page and the woo woo page, because I think people need to see that. That beautiful space. The store, well, both, but especially
I'll put the picture up. But my daughter, from last year, my mom was telling me to stay home, to work from home. But my friend has a spa in Bethpage, New York, and she said, "Oh, I'll give you a little room in the back, and you can do your stuff there." And it worked for a little bit, and then it didn't. My mom kept pushing me back home. So finally, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay home. So I started putting together my little room there with my Reiki bed. And my daughter's portrait that she painted, I said, this has to go there because it took her a few months to put it together. And if you touch it, the texture feels almost like stone. But she made it almost like plaster.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I thought it was just so amazing. And she doesn't think she's that great, but I think she's amazing. And she says, I think she's amazing. So I put it in that room, and the energies there, the colors, the vibration, the what she put into it, and everything else that's in that room just makes it really like a high frequency, And
that's
so
wonderful.
This Saturday I'm going to have like a spa night where people are going to sample, 15 minutes of different things just so that they can feel the energy. My husband is also a Reiki master practitioner, and his energy is like through the roof. Everybody that always gets Reiki from him has experiences, and I don't know if because he loves to be gardening and he likes to be outside planting, so that energy gets really intensified. And let me tell you, whenever he's planting outside and then he does a little Reiki, it's just like, oh my God, his energy just gets really strong from just playing around in the dirt,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So he's going to be doing some of that, and I'll be doing readings and some aromatherapy. So yeah, so that's
very cool.
That is.
You remind me of a friend of mine. He used to garden with my mom, and my mom just has a green thumb. Just, give her a dead thing and it will resurrect itself in her presence.
Wow.
Right.
That's awesome.
But this guy, he drank like 3 or 4 2-liters of Dr. Pepper a day. Mm-hmm. He smoked Alpine cigarettes by the carton. I mean, lighting one off the other. And I mean, you can just imagine the toxins that were leaching out of his skin.
Yeah.
Right. And he planted a garden one year with my mom, and you could tell which of the seeds he had touched.
Oh, wow.
Because they didn't grow. They were like sickly and weak. And yeah, it was amazing. Just in what had come through on the hand oils.
Yeah.
So, your husband is exactly the opposite of that, but it really is amazing how we can interact with plants, and they can give us their energy as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Freaking amazing.
People literally there was this guy, and I'll say the story really quick. We were volunteering for people that were going through cancer and that had cancer and were in remission, or that were going through it. So we used to volunteer one night a month, and we used to spend 4 hours just giving Reiki to people. And there was this man that he started doing Reiki on, and the man, after he got up from the bed, he was like, my head is still like hot, like his head was burning from the energy that George was giving him. And for a month, it stayed that way. So he didn't really know us, and he asked the lady that was running the show to give him George's number. So he called him, and he was like, I don't know what you did. I don't know what this is about. I never had Reiki before. His wife was the one going through chemo, and he was just like, a caretaker pretty much. But he wanted the Reiki because he was stressed out too.
Of course. So,
because of that experience he had, he became a Reiki practitioner because he couldn't believe the energy. He had never felt it before. He couldn't understand it. And he became a practitioner from it. But there's hundreds of stories about him touching people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's wild.
And he's humble. He doesn't even, to him, I'm the one always talking about it.
Well, I want to give a really quick shout out because Eli could hear Miss Krista and he wanted to see her. And so we want to say good night, Eli. It's bedtime. Eli. Have a great night. Sweet dreams. And all of that.
So sweet. He's a little boy that lives next door.
Oh.
And so my window right now is open. So his window is probably open so he can hear me.
He can hear you.
Yeah, everyone says when I have the window open, and I try not to be overly loud, but they'll hear me and they'll laughing. And
it's
talking.
Good stuff anyway.
And it is. It's all good. But yeah, he's really sweet. He was helping today. He helped move chairs and helped me hand out little gift bags to everybody that I had created. And so, he was really a big help. So thank you, Eli. And I hope you sleep well, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome stuff.
So how was your weekend, Gayle?
In my picture, that slab that I won from sharing and commenting on the Woo Woo Show.
Is it there too?
Picture,
so you mean this slab?
Yes. And I love that slab.
Isn't that great?
It's great.
I love it.
So this week has been very, very interesting in my world because I'm moving. For those of you who don't know, I am moving out of Arizona back to Michigan for a while. We'll see where everything actually sorts out and lands eventually. These two are already trying to get me to schedule Sedona retreats and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe that'll happen. Right now, I'm trying to get through the. I'm trying to get through just the decision-making stage of what books can I put on Amazon and not take with me? What crystals can I offer up to all of you guys to buy from me? And all kinds of issues are coming up. It's very, very interesting because I've got this level of, I need this, right? And then I've got this, I'm sentimentally attached to this. And then I've got this, that's just been around for so long, I couldn't possibly let it go.
It's hard.
It is.
It is. And I'll get like 2 hours into it, and I'm just like, I got to take a break. I cannot deal with any more decisions to be made right now. And to that end, I meal prepped for salads all this week. So all I have to do for eating is go into the refrigerator, grab a handful from each bowl, throw it in another bowl, put some sauce on it, and I'm eating.
There you go.
That's great.
You got to manage where you can. You definitely got to manage where you can.
Absolutely.
So this is all going to be very fun and exciting. Possible road trip in the way, or along the way, not in the way, or on the way. So if you have a place between Phoenix, Arizona, and Detroit, Michigan, that you would like me to stop along the way and possibly do like a remote live from your crystal store, or group clearing and healing along the way, let me know, because we can make this work. We can make everything kind of flow out. I do plan on being in Vegas the middle of September. So if you're local there, let me know so we can get together while I'm passing through. So yeah, that's kind of been my week. I want to show you this. Give me a second here. Let's see if
is it moving? I love moving stuff. Oh yes, I can relate to that.
Yeah, this is the keeper pile. This is just the keeper pile.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, people, it was not easy, but my entire Harry Potter hardcover collection is in the sell pile.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of old stuff. But you're not getting my signed Richard Nixon autobiography. It's not happening.
Okay. You can keep on. It's all good.
Nixon?
Richard Nixon. I've never read it. I don't have it. But there are certain, how when hunters bag a big animal and then they put the head up there and it's their trophy.
Yep.
That autobiography is my trophy from my second marriage.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I have an antique etched mirror from my first. That was my ex-husband's mother's, and I'm like, no, sorry, it's in my house. You're not getting it back. Yeah, so apparently I collect trophies from old spouses.
Well, there you have it.
All right, ladies.
All right.
Enough of this drivel. What, Kristen?
Your card. I was waiting for you to pull your card.
Oh, yes. Let us do that. Well, today's card is the Two of Wands.
The Two of Wands.
The Two of Wands.
Ooh.
Isn't she pretty?
Nice.
All right. So the guidance for today is slow down and consider your options today. That's a really good one for me. You have amazing potential. Consider carefully how you want to use your time and energy. Don't go running after the first opportunity that comes along if that doesn't feel exactly right. Take your time. So the Two of Wands is all about, this is the time to choose, right? You have a smorgasbord in front of you. Pick one and take small little baby steps towards that one, right? That's all you got to do today. And just pick one and take a few steps towards it. And then see how that works out. And if it doesn't feel like, this is not the right one, I should have picked a different one, that's cool. Go pick the other one. Go pick whatever fits. And if it's not the right one the first time, you can choose again. It's legal. We give you permission. It's legal.
Wow. That's good.
Act now before they take the right to choose away.
Choose away.
Yes. Yes. Let's talk about that.
Boy.
Right? All right. First we're going to talk about Miss Krista's segment.
We are. Okay. Well, the crystal of the week is Smithsonite. Now, this is a crystal I do not have, but I was telling the ladies, I think tomorrow I'm going to go to my local crystal store and see if they happen to have a vat of it that I can like climb into, because it's been one of those weeks and it really fits. So when I was reading Smithsonite on one of the websites, and actually I think I may just go over here and click. Give me a second. So I want to read this a little bit just from the website. What website am I on? So that you know, thecrystalcouncil.com. And so I'm looking it up here. And Smithsonite is a zinc spar. So it's a zinc carbonate metal. And for those of you who want to see kind of what it looks like, I'm going to show you the card that I pulled it up. It comes in a variety of colors, from yellow to brown to purple, white, green, gray, but it's mostly known for being a turquoisey color or blue color, which is really a really great one. It's sometimes mistaken for other crystals, but it is abundantly found in, I just want to make sure, because the biggest one in Greece, Australia, South Africa, Mexico, and the United States. So honestly, this is one of the ones that I want to find when I go to Greece. However, the stone is really good at helping us to soothe our mind and to calm your emotions. And the reason why I went on here and just said I wanted to read it verbatim is because I said that from the end of last week's show through this week, I have been living in Technicolor what Damaris had shared. And Smithsonite is really here to help us calm our mind, soothe our mind, and to calm our emotions. Having had an experience this week that I've never experienced in my entire, well, I've had like 3 experiences I've never had in my entire life. One was a wave, like a tsunami of an emotion, anger emotion, like aggression, anger, fury come at me. I've never experienced it in this manner before. Having Smithsonite probably would have, given me pause and been able to help me, because it really helps when that overwhelm comes in. So think about it when you get that overwhelming emotion come to you, whether it's anger, whether it's excitement, because think about the fact that you can get that overwhelming emotion of excitement. Think about being something that get you so excited and then like amplifying it up again. That can be one of those emotions.
I got one. Like when you're in a Manilow concert and then he calls you up on stage.
Okay. All right. Yeah. and you get to stand there with him and sing.
You get to sing. Yeah, you get to sing along. He used to do that. See? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It happens.
Wow.
It's a thing.
That is amazing. Okay, so that would be an excitement level. I love that. For people who are adrenaline junkies, and those who are out there, my daughter and my husband happen to be adrenaline junkies. When you do something like a really awesome roller coaster, or you go bungee cord jumping, or you jump out of a perfectly good airplane, whatever that adrenaline rush is, that's another that's another heightened, bringing your emotions to a greater height, because it's even higher than typically you get from an adrenaline rush from running or cycling or swimming. It hits a different endorphin level. So when you're working with a crystal like Smithsonite, what it's helping you do is achieve clarity. So it brings you from that heightened emotion And it helps you to come into, I'm not saying that it's going to lower the emotion as much as it's going to help you achieve that clarity. And in the clarity, the emotion will balance itself out. Does that make sense to you, ladies?
Yeah.
Because we have a tendency to really think that, emotions are a bad thing, especially if you watch Downton Abbey, because, they show no emotion. I've just started binge watching Downton Abbey for the first time ever. I've never watched it before, but it's very amusing to me. And
there's Dame Maggie Smith in it is stellar.
Oh my God.
But I've never watched a single episode either.
Oh my God, she has some of the best zingers. I love her lines. I'm like, damn, I love you, woman. Actually, they have quite a few actors and actresses that I've known in other things, and I'm just it's amazing. They're really great. But emotions are a really good thing. And I always try to keep that in mind. And when I'm talking people through emotions, I try to get them to describe their emotion in something other than happy, angry, sad. Because, I hate to break it to you guys, there is a larger range of emotions than just 3. And some are deep and some intertwine and some are borderline, where it's like you might think that fear, that you're afraid, but really you're excited because, emotionally from the energetic perspective, they're like neck and neck on an energy scale.
Yeah.
And so, having stones, just like some oils as well, but definitely stones to work with will really help that. The other really good thing as we're approaching, and for us, our days are getting shorter again. And so I bring this up because we get a lot of people with seasonal depression.
Yes.
In these dark areas in the dark months. So Smithsonite is a great energy stone because it brings in, I don't want to say the sunshine. Sunshine is sunstone and amber and citrine, but it brings in a level of balance and it helps with that to combat anxiety, depression, the low energies, and if maybe even with shyness. So it's a really great stone. And for right now, it is even more ideal. And I'm going to tell you why here. For those of you who remembered last week's show, the 2 signs that our dear Damaris spoke of was Virgo and Pisces energy. Well, Smithsonite works with both those energies.
Ooh, nice.
It is connected to the planet Neptune. And I am bringing this in just because you have to understand this week I had, it all kind of like goes, oh, wow, well, isn't that just amazing, right? And then of course, its element is water. However, don't put it in water. It has a very low Mohs hardness scale. I mean, it's not like selenite, but it's still in a 4.5. So don't use it with water because it'll affect it. But it definitely is connected to that element. Now, if you want to work with it, other than to wear it as a piece of jewelry, try meditating with it and see how it talks to you. Now, Julie Denzel, who's in with us today, very funny. She reached out to me earlier. Hi, Julie. And she had one of her crystals. It was a selenite desert rose that actually was speaking to her to play with today. And so she's like, Krista, and she took a picture and we were chatting about it. I'm like, look, sit with it. What's it telling you? Listen, ask the stone. What's the message? And that's what you need to do with any of your crystals, not just Smithsonite, or desert rose, but if it's just something like rose quartz, a clear quartz, amethyst. Sitting with it and holding it while you meditate, which, by the way, meditating doesn't, need to be a huge, long endeavor. It can just be a couple of breaths. And you'll find that it can help you connect to the message, not just from the stone, but what your own internal voice, what your own internal spirit is trying to tell you, what your guides around you are trying to say. It's an amazing thing. So I mean, when I ever opened up, and I forgot to even look yesterday, my week has just been insane. But when I ever saw that it was Smithsonite, I was like, oh, why does this resonate so much with this particular week? And yes, I understand why once I started diving into it a little bit further. So does this, I mean, do either of you have Smithsonite in your collection?
I never even heard of it.
Yeah.
No, I've heard of it before, but I don't honestly know if it's one of the newer ones that I've added to my collection recently. Because there were a number that I got down at Everything Just Rocks that's like, I can't remember the name. And I do take a picture of the description card each time, but then scrolling back through and finding it can also be a bit of a problem times.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I do the same. I've come to, if they have the description card and I can take it with me, I have a couple of books that I actually tape the description card into. And I'm like, okay, I'll tape it in here. And then I have to, and hope I remember which stone that actually pertains to. But no, I don't know. If any of you have Smithsonite, let me know. It's not hard to find. It's not an uncommon stone, but it's not as common as like a quartz.
Yeah.
It's something that I think that if you had it, you would know that it's in your collection.
Yeah. And I think finding it is at crystal stores. It's like one of those second tier crystals that it's not the ones that you hear about all the time that people are saying, oh, pick up rose quartz, get some fluorite, whatever.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that you're only going to hear about it from people who know crystals.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, and that's very true. And I think that and it's something to look into, to adding to your collection.
It looks pretty too, the colors.
It does look amazing. And it's just, I think that it's one of those ones that if you can look, if it resonates with you, if like this week, the energy spoke to you, hopefully far better than it spoke to me. It was loud. It was clear. It was in my face. That's the best way to explain the energy. It was in my face. Yeah. If you had one of those weeks, definitely. I mean, it's like, I think that this is an invitation.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So but that's what I have to say about the crystal of the week, and I can hardly wait to see what Damaris has.
Well, let's find out. Here we go. Awesome.
All right, so we're going to continue with the same chat. I'm just going to be talking about Virgo opposing Pisces in a totally different way. So as you guys know, Virgo is the sign of health and healing. And so what does Virgo want us to know? It wants us to know that our healing and our health is very important. It wants us to take it seriously and not ignore it. It wants us to have a routine, a daily routine of health, healthy eating, exercise, and, a health regimen. Usually, because I do charts, whatever happens, you see each house in the chart is like, let's say the 5th house. If you don't take care of yourself, you will pay for it in the 6th house, right? Because if you're just going about life, not taking care of yourself, eating junk, you're going to pay for it when it comes to your 6th house. So,
okay, hold on, time out.
Yeah.
This is something that always gets me. I don't know what the 5th house governs. I don't know what the 6th house governs.
All right,
people always say in this house, and it's like, I don't even know what that house is, let alone what planet's in it. So you got to give me that.
Yes. All right. So the 5th house has to do with, let's say when we're promiscuous, when we're just going about dating different people, not worrying about who we're sleeping with. It has to do with gambling. It has to do with addictions. It has to do with, all of those things that are of the world. It also has to do with children and creativity. But what happens is that,
so it's the house of chaos.
it's the house of fun. Having fun without really having consequences.
Okay, got it. All right.
Consequences are paid for in the sixth house, which is the house of health. It's the house of service. It's the house of healing. And so if we are running around, having a lot of fun, drinking, not sleeping well, sleeping around, whatever it is, right? We're going to pay for it once that wheel turns into the sixth house.
Now, does that also work the other way as well? Because, for example, I'm running around hating myself as a woman. Does that mean that in the sixth house, I'm going to pay for that with, like hormonal issues, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, all of those diseases born out of, detrimental thinking?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the sixth house, like I said, is all about health. So it's about taking responsibility, taking ownership of our lives or of our health. And let me just talk about the Pisces energy, right? So Pisces is all like dreamy, fantasy, not really living reality. So if you're eating junk food, if you're not exercising, if you're abusing your body, you're not living the reality that you're going to pay for that later on. So it brings me to what's happening in the world today, right? If we're in Pisces energy, just living a false reality, and we're not it's not about self-care, we're using healthcare, we're going to pay the price. We have to take responsibility and ownership. And that's really waking up to a new reality. Go ahead.
Can you repeat that again? Repeat it. For all those who don't understand, repeat that. Please.
So it's about self-care, not healthcare. It's about taking responsibility of our own bodies and not putting it in the hands of someone else, not relying on someone else to give us all the answers or to fix it for us. We really have to stop living the false reality of Neptune and Pisces and live the reality of Virgo in the Mercury, higher active, if you will, where you're using your higher mind and you're saying, wait a second, this is my body. I have to take care of it myself. And really, if to avoid illness, we should be having a healthy regimen on a daily basis. We should be eating right. We should take care of our immune system. And we can't, again, put our life in someone else's hands because they're not responsible for us. And you know what? Not for nothing, and I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like the health industry is about treating an illness, not curing the illness. That's up to us.
Yeah,
that's up to us. And so this energy and this opposition that's going on, it's really about facing our reality, taking care of ourselves, taking ownership and responsibility, and not depending on someone else. I also feel like I spoke about this like maybe 2 months ago. There's different sorrows, right? And we have the sorrow mystery, which has to do with Pisces on a negative level. It's when we wear the crown of the thrones. What does that mean exactly?
You mean the thorns?
Yeah,
the
crown of thorns.
Yes,
the crown of thorns.
The crown of the thorns. Sorry about
Is that the martyr?
Is the martyr, and it's also paying the consequences of living in a false reality or depending on someone else or yourself, your life, right? And so it's about, okay, what cross am I bearing? What am I doing to myself that I'm going to pay the consequences, right? And so we really have to wake up. This is a time of, the whole month is really almost about Virgo until I think the 22nd or something like that. So this whole month is about, what do you have to fix within yourself? What healthy regimen do you have to adapt? What do you have to change as far as your eating habits, exercise, mental state, right? What do you have to change about living in a false reality? What do you have to wake up to? You know what I mean? That you've been just, dilly-dallying, ignoring, or not facing. And so that's what this is about right now. And so we are really in a place where we can choose either to live, in La La Land, or to wake up, be in our own bodies and feel our own bodies, feel what the body is, saying to us, or listening to the body and giving it what it needs. Because again, Virgo has to do with health. It has to do with the imbalances from the first, second, third, fourth, fifth house. And now you're paying the consequence of it.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm the poster child for this in a 1 week microcosm. Okay. Because since
1 week.
1 week.
Okay.
Because
so between us.
No, seriously, just particularly in the health thing, because since I have been back to Michigan, the 5 pounds that I lost in the 6 weeks or less that I was in Michigan has come back.
Wow.
Like 5 pounds in 1 week here.
Wow.
Okay. Now that is directly related to my boredom eating of chocolate cupcakes and trail mix and chocolate candy bars. And in Sedona, I picked up a pound of fudge. So, I mean, it's not like poof, I just puffed up because I went back to the desert. No, I've been eating crap for the last week, and man, it shows up fast. And, it's going to take me twice as much effort to get this back off again as it did then, but as it did when I was up in Michigan, because when I was up in Michigan, it wasn't too hot to go for a walk. There was a 5-year-old to play catch with and practice t-ball with who wanted to go on bike rides. And since I've been back, I'm in my house. The heaviest thing I'm doing is moving 3 books at a time.
3 books at a time.
So yeah, I mean it right now it's very much in my face.
So
how about you?
You have to look at the Virgo energy as being the mind and the Pisces as being the emotions, right? And so mind over the emotions, I would say. Sometimes it's the other way around, but in this case, it's, you have to use your higher mind to control the emotions. So I don't know if the sweets is nervous energy. Sometimes it is, because you're going through a huge transition. Moving. So it could be, emotional nervousness, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely anxiety and boredom. 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Hurry up and wait. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Because Pisces is all about water. It's the emotions, and how are those emotions? Are those emotions real, or are you fantasizing or telling a story? Right? We all do it, and so it's about taking your higher mind and saying no, Neptune or Pisces. Yeah. I'm not living that false reality. I'm living this reality, right?
Yeah.
And so that's taking Mercury and Virgo and utilizing it on a higher level to really then just tackle what you have to do and do it.
Which you just reminded me, Mercury just went into Libra, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little about that?
Sure. But Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So that's never going to change. Right. So Libra has to do with partnerships and relationships. So the energy in Mercury going into Libra, it's all about how you're going to communicate in your relationships. How are you expressing yourself? How are you what's the word I'm looking for? How are you the trajectory of what you're trying to express? The delivery? How are you delivering the message, right? That you're trying to deliver? And so are you coming from the ego, or are you coming from the kindness? Where are you coming from with that delivery, right? And especially in relationships that are one-on-one relationships, because that's what Libra is about. So if we're not in the right place of mind, we can ruin relationships. We can have a conflict, an argument, a disagreement. And sometimes it's not repairable. It depends what words you're using. And you're the magic wizard over there, words, right? So it depends. So that's really what it is about. How are we communicating in relationships that are close to us? One-on-one relationships, whether it's romantic, family, friends, co-workers, people that we see on a day-to-day basis. And how are we delivering those messages? How are we communicating? That's what that is in Libra. but Mercury is always the ruler of Virgo. So it's always, it comes into play with Virgo. Yeah. Oh, and the eight vibration. The eight vibration of today has to do with leadership, you know, being determined, has to do with organizing, becoming organized, becoming determined, having the leadership, having the fearlessness to do what it is that's demanded of us right now. And we may not know about tomorrow, but we'll just take today. And for today, we're going to take on whatever is going to, you know, we're confronted with today. And so, you know, the other day, somebody said to me, and I'll share this with you. I was telling her about something that happened to me, and she says, Damaris, stop. And I was like, what? She says, stop with the drama. I know that the word drama is in your name, but stop.
That's awesome.
So she said, when you stop the drama, you stop the trauma. I was like, I like that.
Yes, that is very true.
So I'm taking that from her.
That's
I don't know if
awesome.
anybody else needs it today.
I love it. You remind me of when I was in Landmark, and their big thing is all about the story, right? Yes. Your story, and stop telling the story because that's the past. You know, to say what you want to create, say something different, kind of thing. And man, that was one of the hardest things for me to embrace because I'm a storyteller. What? You can't take my breath away from me. What the hell? You know, but it does it when you get it at the right level, just like what was said to you. It like, there's a difference between telling stories and telling story. Yeah. Right.
Yes. Yeah. And if you change your story, you change your life, right? Yeah. So technically, right?
All the more reason to write more porn. Never mind. All right, let's move along here.
Oh boy. Okay, so
we haven't said underwear in a long time.
I know. Yeah, we need to do an underwear check. What color is everyone wearing?
You're in the fifth house, Gayle. You're in the fifth house. And
right? my take care of myself. Don't worry about the consequences later.
Talking about drawers and stuff.
My underwear is white. Damn it.
I'm beige because I'm wearing white pants.
That's so funny. All right.
Hey guys, you know the rule. Write down what color underwear you're wearing.
Yep.
So
gotta give us the color of your underwear whenever we do this. Oh, Sue has black. Woo! Risque Sue. Oh my. Nice. Very nice.
Very nice, Damaris. You have blue on. That means we all need to pay attention.
And blue is my color. Blue is one of my favorite colors. I don't know if because my month is a sapphire, Virgo is sapphire, blue. So I love that color. I love purple too, but blue is one of my favorites.
Excellent.
Oh, somebody's going commando.
Oh, love that.
I'm not telling you. I know, but I'm not telling.
Oh, this house conversation right here.
We have baby blue. That's good. Look at
Paula. Paula's baby blue.
Awesome, Paula.
Mine is royal blue. And since we're being descriptive.
Oh, I love that.
Very nice.
I should go down. Maybe I'll put on red for bed. No.
Where
is Kevin today, by the way?
Where is Kevin?
I don't know, actually. I think he's on the first floor, I think. Okay. I haven't heard him come up. So he was last thing I saw when I came up, he was listening to Porcini.
To what?
Porcini. We bought a record player.
Okay.
And we've been going to markets and we're collecting vinyl and we're listening to different vinyl. And so he's listening to music at the moment on the record player.
Very cool.
It is. We nerd out every now and again on more than just Star Wars.
I like it.
So,
Gayle.
Gayle, you're up there, Miss
I know.
Miss Word
Here
Master.
we go. So this week's topic is who touched your life with kindness? We talk an awful lot, not just here, but on Facebook, in the world, about what's your trauma? What happened to you? And just like Damaris was talking about, we lead with whatever we think that someone else can identify with. And we identify, unfortunately, in America, we identify through our trauma.
Yeah.
We do. We don't have so much of those ice cream socials moments in society as we used to anymore. But we can all talk about, that extra 15 pounds we put on during COVID, lockdown, and, all of the horrible, horrible things, and how much we miss our loved ones and family. And, we can all connect really, really well through trauma. I'm inviting you to take a break from that today. Okay. Who was the last person that touched your life with kindness? First off, if that answer is not you, you got some work to do, hon. You got some assignments today to be kind to yourself. Even if it is a misdirect or a redirect in the middle of a thought, I don't care if I'm fluffy, I'm cuddleable.
There you go.
Okay. I don't care. Be kind to yourself. Every time that you notice that you're being unkind to yourself today, I want you to snap your fingers and say something kind to yourself. All right. Now, as far as the world at large, my dears, let's go back for a second to what Miss Krista was talking about with the Smithsonite and how it tends to take on that overwhelm and bring us back into a space that is more comforting. Okay. Excellent, excellent stone for this exercise in awareness, right? Because you're going to start noticing how unkind overwhelm is to you and start paying more attention to keeping things flowing through kindness, whether it's self-imposed kindness or acknowledging and recognizing other people's kindness. Now, even more so right now with what Damaris was talking about with the Virgo and the Pisces, they're still doing their thing out there. This last week was just the beginning, and I don't know if it's going to get better, worse, neutral, whatever, but it's still doing its thing out there, which means that the inside and the outside are not necessarily being kind to each other. Make a choice consciously to inject kindness into those situations where you're not really wanting to feel so kind. And I know it's not easy, but I also know from experience, it's not impossible either.
Yeah. No.
It is not impossible for you to go, take a deep breath, hold on a second. All right, I'm going to say something kind for the sake of being kind, not as some sort of hook and barb, not as some sort of passive aggressive, but genuinely, I'm not going to break this unkindness wave with a moment of kindness. Thank you for being. Thank you for being everything that I need right now to see what I need to see right now, even if I don't like it.
Love it.
Okay. Yep. All right. So pull all of that together and take some time to be kind to yourself, to be kind to the people around you. And in those moments when we are suddenly find ourselves immersed in a world of overwhelm, it may not even be our own overwhelm, might be the overwhelm of a bunch of people who are acting out that Virgo Pisces dynamic right in our space. To take a moment and center, be kind to yourself, step out of that space if you can, if it's appropriate. And from there, if you can't, be a beacon of kindness in that space. Trust me, it will change the tonality as far as your energy field can reach, right? You don't necessarily have to say anything. You don't necessarily have to do anything. Just be.
kindness. All right. So
I just want to add something to that.
Sure.
Because of that Neptune Pisces energy, I feel like we all need to get a grip on reality. If we have been living in a false reality, we need to get a grip on the reality.
Yeah. Yeah. Yepers, that's absolutely true. I like my false reality better though.
But I think that one of the things that we need to clarify is each of us our reality is different, you know, in understanding. So when what Damaris says resonates, you know, is we have to get a grip. We have to acknowledge what our reality is, and to get out of that bubble of the story that we created, whether it's a better story or whether it's a worse story, but to actually bring it in and say, no, this is really what is happening in our world. And I think that when we get in those the stories, whichever they may be, you know, the trauma of drama, or the you know, all thing is delusional, you know, is the best way.
It is.
That it's hard for people to get themselves out of that and say, but what Gayle's saying is by using kindness and gratitude, those two things hand in hand help bring whatever these two, what we'll say, stories are out here into perspective of what your reality is.
Yes.
And that is the best way. I mean, in those moments where I'm just like, okay, why do I feel like that I'm caught up in a whatever it may be, that
Twilight Zone.
I like that, the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
it is. Sometimes it feels like the Twilight
Zone. It does
Zone.
feel like it.
It really does. And you know, when I'm in that, I just try to focus, you know, refocus, realign myself back up to the gratitude and the kindness, and remembering. And sometimes it's hard, and that kindness part, it doesn't always have to be easy.
You know,
and the kindness can just be a smile. By the way,
it reminds me of that movie Divergent. Did anybody see that movie?
Yes. Yep.
Did you see it, Gayle?
Yeah. And I've read the books also. My kids.
Really?
Yeah, I've read the books.
I think it's that it comes into play here.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Movies like that and The Matrix, and people are always like, "You've never seen that?" And it's like, yeah.
No.
I know from the memes that I've seen and people talking about it, I would probably love it. But I sat down to watch The Matrix once, fell asleep 10 minutes into it. And for some reason, if I fall asleep during the beginning of a movie, I will like struggle to ever watch that whole movie.
Yeah.
Disney's Cars from Pixar. Yeah, still haven't seen the whole thing.
Can you give, because you read the book, can you give a little synopsis of the Divergent?
Well, it's a dystopia. Is the best way to explain it, and it's a dystopia, and part of it is that the country or the people are divided into, for the best way, houses. We'll make it like a Harry Potter thing too, right? And there are like 4 houses. And so each people that are in these houses live different lives. And it has the Hunger Games, Harry Potter. It's a really interesting dystopia. And it really is. If you like dystopia universe, I highly recommend it. But I know our time is cutting down, and so I didn't want to get.
Well, I want to take a moment and make sure that we congratulate our winner for this week. So our winner is, congratulations, Sherry Turner.
Yay!
She's a winner. She has never won before.
I think she has won before.
Yeah.
I think she has, but that's okay. Sherry, all you got to do is reach out to us. Let us know which of the 3 of us you would like to collect your prize with. From me, it is either a tarot session or a tapping session, emotional freedom technique tapping. With Krista, it is a crystal reading.
designed specifically customized to you. And with Damaris, it is a tarot or numerology reading or astrological reading. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay,
excellent.
cool.
So whatever you want to choose. So you've got one option, two options, three options. Throwing up gang signs here.
There you go.
So Sherry, thank you so much for being a supportive listener, and we can't wait to hear from you who you've chosen. Also, thank you to our sponsors and contributors. Of course, there is Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista, can be found on Facebook. Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And of course, yours truly, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. And I just want to give a really quick shout out. Thank you so much to Sue Ward-Paquin, who has always been an excellent supporter and love of the show. So I just wanted to say hi, and we miss you and we love you. Alrighty. So everybody who tuned in today, thank you so very, very much for being part of this, being with us. And we love to see you every week. Thanks so much for showing up. Take care and have a great week ahead. Bye.